Hey Scorpio, welcome in and happy birthday. We are in Scorpio season. Scorpio is probably one of my favorite signs, so welcome in. I'm excited to do this reading for you. So we're going to do a birthday reading for Scorpio, and then we're going to look at three questions. What skeletons are coming out of your closet? How to navigate through this, and how will this revelation uncovering transform you? So those are the questions that we're going to look at. But first, let's go ahead and just jump into a birthday reading for Scorpio. So asking that your guides and guardians step in close, asking spirit and source, what birthday message, what message do you have for Scorpios for this upcoming year? Birthdays to me always feel like a nice restart or a reset. So let's take a look at that for Scorpio. I love you guys because you guys go deep. Nothing is off limits. A lot of Scorpios I can have really deep conversations with. I really enjoy that. So, all right, Scorpio, birthday message. And be sure to check your sun, moon, rising, and Venus. But right now we're looking at a birthday message for Scorpio. Speaking of transformation, and we have the Death card right here in the middle. All right, so let's see what's coming in here for Scorpio. And the Four of Swords. Interesting. Do we have some workaholics in the house here? Do we have some workaholics listening to this reading? Okay, so here's what I feel is coming in. Eight of Pentacles. This is work routine. You're going through the motions of life, doing what needs to be done, getting things done, and all of that. What I feel like you're being asked to do is, and this is kind of a fun message, have a little bit more fun, mix it up a bit. For some of you, I feel like this is an invitation to possibly look at a new career in the upcoming year, maybe going back to school, doing things different, getting out of your normal routine. And for some of you, I feel like this is taking a step back from work and working less. Others of you, I feel like this is an invitation to look at a different career, look at doing something that will bring you more satisfaction. And I feel that because we have this Knight of Cups here. And the Knight of Cups, I love how there's tons of skeletons in here. I figured we might as well keep the Halloween theme going because, I mean, it's Scorpio. Why not, right? So the Knight of Cups brings in an offering of deepening satisfaction, more emotional satisfaction. This can also be the Prince Charming card. So for some of you, this could be a new love or a blossoming of a relationship, or maybe just a fun fling coming in. But I feel like this is more work related. It feels like transforming through your career or transforming what you do, the way you make money, but definitely mixing up how you are living your everyday life. We've got the Death card right in the middle, so talking about transformation. And Scorpio, you rule the eighth house. The eighth house is the house of transformation. So we're talking about a lot of deep transformation and changes. I'm going to pull a clarifier on this card as well. But it does feel for a lot of Scorpios in this upcoming year. I'm kind of looking further with this birthday read further into the year, so going into 2025. It does feel like, well, what I'm hearing is your boat is going to be rocked. And I'm not saying this in a, this doesn't need to be negative, so don't take it that way. But it does feel like the universe is almost asking you to pivot and make some big changes. And well, big changes are coming. Scorpio, big changes are coming. So maybe start to try to kind of feel in a little bit to what areas of your life are you not feeling a lot of satisfaction in? Because what the universe is wanting to offer you is more joy, and more happiness in your day-to-day life. So maybe start feeling into that. Work is definitely being highlighted here. This could also be highlighting relationships as well. Maybe it's time to look at, especially in romantic relationships, is it time to take that relationship to the next step? Is it time to go a little deeper into that? Or is it time, or why are you even there? Maybe it's time for some of those relationships to end. Something to look at there. But the whole point of these changes coming in is to bring you back to yourself, is what I'm feeling here. It's purposely the things that are going to happen next year, in the upcoming months. It's happening to purposely slow you down, to really have you look at your life, look at your level of happiness and joy, and see what needs to shift. Exactly what I've been saying here. The Four of Swords is a need for rest. It's a need to slow down. It's not juggling so many things. It's almost, it's doing less. It's doing less and enjoying your life more. And interesting, we've got the Hermit card here. I love that we have the skeleton up in the sky here. But this feels like you're no longer going to be able to stay surface. So if you've been trying to kind of coast along, being the same person that you were, 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, it's not going to work. You're really being asked to dig a little deeper into yourself, into your soul, is what I'm hearing, and really start asking yourself, why am I here? What do I want to do? Not so much what does society want from me, or what does my family and friends want from me, but what do you want, Scorpio? That's what I really feel like is being asked. What are you? And I feel like for most of you that are watching this, you've had this nagging feeling or sensation like something's got to change, or this something feels kind of off. It's something you've been ignoring, and I don't feel like you're going to be able to ignore that anymore. So take a look at what that is. Feel into that a little bit. And the whole point of you being challenged to, I hate how there's a glare. The whole point of this challenge is to bring you more happiness and more joy, and to have you really settle into who you truly are. That's the birthday message that I'm getting here. Beautiful energy. Transformation can be a little rocky, because it does push us out of our comfort zone, but beautiful things can come from that. More meaningful relationships, more meaningful work can come from that. The other thing that I'm hearing here is, value your time and value your energy, and taking that a little more seriously. I'm hearing don't squander that. And I feel like what Spirit is meaning by saying that is, do things that really light you up, and do things that spend your time and energy in ways that yeah, that really light you up, that get you super excited. So that's what I'm feeling with that. So now, oh, I said I was going to pull a clarifier. Let's pull a clarifier on death because I said I was going to do that. Although I do feel like I got that message. But clarifier for the death card. Clarifier for the death card. Yeah, Ace of Swords. Interesting too, Scorpio, in the tarot deck. This is just so perfect. In tarot, the death card represents Scorpio. So, I mean, we have you front and center. I love how that happens. We have the Ace of Swords. So this is a clarification of your mind, clarifying your time. Like I said, clarifying your time, clarifying, getting clear on what is important to you and what needs to shift and change. Going through the motions and going through the day-to-day because that's what you've always done. It's not serving you, and you're really being asked to look at this. And I feel like for some, these are a little nuanced things. So it's not like not everyone's going to start a new career or a new job. Not everyone is going to be deepening a relationship or ending a relationship. These could be really little nuanced things as well. Especially if you've been here on the planet for a while. I feel like you guys, you know, the longer you're here, the more you learn what not to do, the more you learn what doesn't work for you, I guess. So some of this could be very nuanced as well. But definitely a deepening of your journey. So really beautiful message for Scorpio. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the questions I'm asking of every sign, and this will serve as the November reading as well. So check your sun, moon, rising, and Venus sign for additional info. All right, so Scorpio, like I was saying, you guys are the house of transformation. This is the most intense house. Scorpio, you guys are like the most intense sign, really. So things that could be highlighted in November, well, starting now and through November, repeated patterns, shadow work, taboo subjects, compulsions, you know, pulling skeletons out of the closet, deepening of your emotions, tapping into your emotions, maybe in a deeper way. And you guys are ruled by Pluto. It's the planet that governs destruction and transformation. So it's like burning it all down to rebuild something even better. You don't have to literally like take that literally. Don't burn things down necessarily. Don't burn things down unnecessarily. Okay, so for Scorpio, what skeletons are coming out of the closet? What is surfacing at this time for Scorpio? What is surfacing? How to navigate through this, and how will this revelation transform you? I figured we might as well go deep. We're in Scorpio season. Let's go with the energy. All right, so Scorpio, what is surfacing? Oh my goodness. Have you guys just been super like down in the dumps and super sad or depressed? What is surfacing? How to navigate through this? And how will this revelation transform you? Interesting cards here. Okay, so what is surfacing for you? And this goes back to the birthday reading that we just did. The need for joy and happiness, the need for expansion. It's interesting that happiness and joy, for some of you, I feel like you don't feel worthy of that, or you don't feel, maybe that feels elusive to you. But this is what's being stifled. It's your joy, it's your happiness. I also feel this is reconnecting with what you're passionate about. Scorpio, it almost kind of feels like, I wouldn't say you guys have been hiding away because I don't feel that, but it's almost like you've not felt like you can allow your true self to be revealed, or maybe you haven't felt safe to do that. Maybe some of that is because of the circles that you've been hanging out in. Maybe you're just not an energetic match, but you are being asked to really look at your level of happiness and joy, reconnecting with that, letting your light shine. Um, and that would also be unburdening yourself as well. So if there's something that's been weighing heavy on you, take a look at that. Don't ignore that. Take a look at what is weighing heavy on you. How can you navigate through this? The best way to navigate through this is releasing of worry and anxiety. How much of the worry and anxiety are you feeling? How much of this is actually yours? Obviously, if you're feeling it, it is yours. But are you taking on worries and concerns of other people, is what I'm meaning. Are you carrying other people's burdens? I'm really feeling that for some Scorpios here. I feel like you are. Um, how can you lighten and ease up that anxiety and that worry? Take a look at that. The other thing here too is how much of this anxiety is usually worry. You're living in the future. So depression is often you're kind of stuck in the past. Anxiety is often you're not present in the now. You're worrying about the future. You're too much in the future. um, so how much of this worry and anxiety is you worrying about things that might not ever happen? So the best way to navigate through this is to unburden yourself, release some of these anxieties. And maybe it's time maybe you need to talk to somebody. Um, you know, take a look at this though. Take a look at the things, take a look at where your mind is at. And oftentimes we really don't know what we're thinking about. A fun exercise, well, I don't really know if it's fun. It's definitely insightful. Spend an entire day writing down what you're thinking. Maybe like well, when I did this, I set a timer. Every 10 minutes I would write down what I was thinking. But then I would also just tune in and be like, what am I thinking right now? Especially if I was starting to feel anxiety, and I would write it down. I did this for a month. Now, you don't have to do it for a month. You could do it for a day. You can do it for a week. But I feel like if you can do it for a full month, you've gone through an entire cycle. And then you can go back through your thoughts, and you can learn a lot from it. You can start to see where you're off track. You can start to see where those worries are pointing to something in your life that's off. It's really interesting how it works. It does take a little extra time, but it definitely is an insightful activity. So, and you will become more mindful of what you're thinking about. How will this transform you? How will this revelation transform you? I feel like this is easing of your burdens. It's less junk for you to balance. It's also freeing up time for you to spend with you. I do feel like there's a need here for Scorpios to have some time to themselves, to maybe pull back from constantly doing and being around people, and just spending time with yourself. that can be very insightful too. That can also create a lot of anxiety if you're not used to spending time with yourself. But the whole point of this is to unburden yourself and experience more joy and happiness. So I really feel like it's a beautiful message. Your guides want you to be more happy. Tap into your passions, your desires, the things that really fill you up and give you a deep level of satisfaction. It's that type of energy where at the end of the day, maybe things didn't go totally your way, but you can look at the day and just think, wow, what a fulfilling, satisfying day I just had. Like, it was perfect. It's that type of energy. That's what your guides and guardians really want for you. And it's your challenge for the month of November. Take a look at your thoughts, your worries and concerns, and how can you unburden yourself. All right, so before we sign off, feels like this card wants to come out. A final message. I didn't realize until I started shuffling these cards how many of these cards have naked people on them. So I'm going to have to be mindful of that. Restore and replenish. Card number 38. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm feeling. You're being invited to restore and replenish. What do you need to do to restore and replenish your energy, your mind, every part of you? What do you need for that? That's the invitation, Scorpio. Really dive into replenishing you, taking deep care of yourself. I love the green on here. Surround yourself in green, wear green, work with the green ray. It brings in a lot of renewal, replenishment, growth, and expansion. It's a beautiful energy to work with, especially if you've been feeling ill or even just feeling depressed. The green ray is a beautiful ray to work with for healing. All right, so happy birthday, Scorpio. I hope you have a beautiful upcoming year and a beautiful November.